Welcome to your sweet release practice. Hi friends, I am Katie Arnold, and today's practice is a great practice for after work or anytime you are really just looking to slow your practice down. For props today, I am suggesting that you have one blanket. This is going to be really nice to soften the surface. We'll have a decent amount of time on our knees, so it can be really nice to have that extra padding. And then 2 blocks or something that you can use to replace 2 blocks. This is not the end of the world if you don't have them, but they will be essentially really nice to have. And you will be hearing me cue the use of the blocks. So we will get started in a child's pose. And I'm going to take my blanket just right off the bat. And I'm keeping it folded up a couple of times here. Just to help soften the surface beneath us. And then knees are going to come out nice and wide, big toes towards one another, and then arms can reach forward. All right. If it's available to you, forehead can rest all the way down. Really softening into your child's pose. If it feels good to you, you might take a few cleansing breaths, especially if this is the kind of practice that you're completing maybe after a long day. Maybe you want to take some of those cleansing exhales and just visualize for yourself kind of releasing any part of your day that you're ready to let go of. It's kind of my intention here is to just see if I can give myself a moment of self-care as I transition from one part of my day to the next. And with that transition for me includes leaving behind something that maybe isn't serving me right now. Maybe a thought pattern, a belief, maybe just a moment of annoyance that I'm ready to let go of. So a few cleansing exhales can be supportive in that release. And then while you may hear me cue some moments to take a breath in or a moment to take a breath out, I'm not necessarily looking for you to have any specific breath practice through our practice today. So you don't need to worry about building Ujjayi breath or anything like that unless it actually feels really supportive for you. Otherwise, just allow a natural and effortless breath and enjoy some maybe more intentional breaths as they're offered up. And then here's that first one. Inhale, walk the fingertips forward towards the top of your mat. And exhale, walk the hands over towards the right side of your mat before letting yourself settle in. That left hand can stack on top of the right. Really breathing down that left side body. And then inhale, walk your hands forward. And exhale over to the left side. Maybe right hand stacks on top of the left. Otherwise, hands might be side by side. And then feel the hips pulling down towards the heels. Now walk your hands back through to center, and then we'll take that right hand and we're just going to slide it underneath the left. So we're in a variation of a thread the needle, but still mostly in our child's pose. Right arm reaching underneath the left. Inhale, unwind, right arm can reach back forward. And then exhale, sliding the left arm over towards the right. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, soften yourself down. And then inhale, pull yourself up to a tabletop position. Wrists are going to be underneath those shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, heart shines forward. Exhale through your cat. Inhale through cow. Super gentle. Exhale, cat. Let's take 2 more. Move with your breath. Then we come back through that neutral tabletop position. Curl your toes under and exhale, let your hips go back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And a breath out, maybe pedaling out those feet. And then go ahead and just walk your feet up towards the top of your mat, finding a forward fold. So feet can be at least hips width distance here. This is where I'm going to recommend grabbing your blocks. I'm going to bring mine up on the tallest height and place them right in front of my feet. And then I'm going to bring a really nice bend to my knees and let my hands rest down on the block, or if it's available, forearms could rest down. And then really bring a big bend to those knees. Let the head hang down nice and heavy. Seeing if you can release all of the tension here. Chest might be resting on the thighs. One more big inhale breath. Exhale, let it go. Bring those hands to your blocks. Inhale, find a nice flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway. Finding length. Exhale as you fold and release. One more. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Move those blocks out of the way. Hands come back down. Find your downward facing dog. And then drop both knees down to the mat. Find your tabletop position. Take 1 round of cat and cow. Come back through your neutral tabletop position and step the left toes to the back of your mat. Shift your hips back till you get a nice calf stretch. Inhale, shift it forward. Lift up those left toes and step that left foot out towards the left. Shift your hips back so you can stand up on that right knee. Inhale, both arms up. And then take that right hand, grab onto that left wrist. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back up through center. And exhale, switch that bind, take it over to the left. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale back up. Exhale, hands down to the mat and take a giant step forward with the hands as you shift the hips back and find a child's pose variation with our gate leg. Inhale back up, meet me back in a neutral tabletop position, both knees down. Take one round of cat and cow. Come back through your neutral and step the right toes back. We start with that calf stretch on the right side. Inhale, shift it forward, lift up the right toes, step that right foot out towards the right. We shift our hips back just to help us stand up on that left knee. Inhale, arms up. Left hand grabs onto the right wrist. We exhale to the left just for that breath out. We inhale back up, switch that bind, and exhale over to the right. This time there's a full breath. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Take that step forward with the hands as you shift the hips back to find that gate pose leg in our child's pose variation. Inhale, meet me back in your tabletop position. And then meet me back in our downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale your right leg high behind you. And exhale, step it through in between your hands. Let your left knee come down to the mat. We're going to grab those blocks again. Bring them on each side of that right foot. Take a nice breath in. Hands framing that right foot. Exhale, shift your hips back. Come onto the heel of that right foot. Inhale, start to lunge it back forward. Exhale, shift it back. Inhale, lunge it forward. Exhale, shift it back. One more time. Inhale, lunge it forward. And then as you exhale, shift it back, we're going to pause this time. So you don't need to get that right leg all the way to straight. We're just starting to straighten till we find our edge. And then we hold and we breathe. Maybe taking some of those cleansing breaths. And inhale, come back forward through that lunge. And exhale, sweep that right knee back. Move those blocks out of the way for a moment and make your way back to your downward facing dog. You might notice how things feel a little bit different. You might find a little bit more space in that right side. So now let's see if we can release and find more in the left. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Right knee comes down. Bring those blocks back in. They can be on whatever height works best for you. I like them on the middle here for me today. But do you. Take a breath in. Exhale, shift those hips back. Inhale, we find that low lunge. And exhale, we just start to explore that hamstring stretch. Inhale, bring it back forward. Exhale, shift it back. No force. Inhale, lunge it forward. And then this time, exhale, we shift it back and we'll pause. Finding your depth. Flex those left toes back towards your face. Go ahead and inhale back through your lunge. And exhale, knee comes back to meet the right. We find our tabletop position. I'm going to bring my blocks down to my lowest height now and take them more towards the top of my mat. Bring my knees out nice and wide, big toes towards one another, and we come back to that child's pose. But this time I have my hands on my blocks. Getting a deeper stretch through the upper back and shoulders. If you try this on though, and this does not feel supportive for you, please adjust. You could always take a block underneath the forehead instead. You could make this far more restful. This is our final posture before we work to close out our practice. So let this child's pose be as active or passive as you might need here. This feels really good for me in the upper back and shoulders. So I'm going to let myself take my final few breaths with my hands on the blocks, my heart softening down. Thinking about releasing any of the tension that I might be holding on to. I carry a lot of it in my upper back and shoulders. I am sure I am not alone in that. And once again, maybe coming back to that intentional idea of letting our exhale carry some part of our day that we're ready to release, letting the breath carry it out of the body. Letting us transition to whatever may be coming after this. One more breath in and breath out. Slowly start to roll yourself up. All right. Meet me in any seat that feels supportive for you. Inhale, sweep those arms out nice and wide. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, let your hands come down through heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. Om Shanti. Peace. Thank you, friends. I hope this practice is helping you transition or making some kind of transition in your day. It helped you create a little bit more space. I hope you're feeling really good. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please take a moment to do so. I would truly be so grateful. And if you are interested in learning about the Quiet the Noise membership, the link for that and all of the information is in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me on your mats. I will see you back on your mats for your next practice.